the Super Bowl featuring, not arguably, based on jersey sales and popularity, the two most popular guys in the entire league, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, had all the elements you wanted and needed for a matchup that on paper would interest a lot of people, right?
Yes.
Lowest rated Super Bowl since Super Bowl III. Fewest number of viewers in 15 years. And I'm saying to myself, why? What else were you doing that you didn't want to watch the Super Bowl? Did you just turn the TV off altogether? Was there something else on that captivated your imagination?
Nothing else is on. What else is on?
Where did everybody go? I can't figure it out because it's not like you had, okay, there's two markets I don't care about, two guys I don't care about. You had Tom Brady, who's the most recognizable guy in the sport, going up against the best guy in the sport today,
right?
Looking for a second consecutive Super Bowl. And yet, and when I say nobody, I'm saying that relatable to Super Bowls.
Right.
Like the Super Bowl had a 10-year run where over 100 million people watched it. 91 million people.
Yeah.
91 million on television watched the Super Bowl. The rating, which means what percentage of all the televisions that are on in America were watching the Super Bowl? The lowest since Joe Willie Namath and the Jets beat the Colts.
Is it possible? Two things. I throw it at you. Number one, that maybe people don't love Tom Brady as much as you think. Maybe there were actually people who said, I'm sick of Tom Brady.
Now, not to watch the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you, if that was the case, wouldn't you watch him lose?
Possibly.
Which many people predicted he would.
Which is what I would do. But I'm trying to figure it out with you. I'm being a detective like you.
Yes, detect.
The other possibility is this.
All right. We
have been lucky. Over the last decade, other than the one here at MetLife Stadium, we have had nothing but close Super Bowls. Nothing but close Super Bowls. Every Super Bowl has been close. Even the one 2 years ago, the ugly Patriot-Ram one, it was a close game. So isn't it possible that the fact that we actually didn't have a close game, I mean, this was effectively a blowout. There were guys like me out there waiting for Kansas City to come back, thinking Kansas City would come back, but for the average fan, they weren't going to tune in because it was a blowout.
Yeah,
is that possible?
I would have thought more people would have watched because of COVID. See, normally if you have a house filled with 20 people,
right?
They don't get credit for all 20 people because how the heck do they know that there's 20 people in your house?
Right.
So I would have thought because of COVID and all the warnings we got, don't have people over, don't have parties, don't yell and scream, cheer into your elbow, that kind of crap, right?
Right.
That the numbers would have gone the other way.
Right.
Because if you're not coming to my house, they're going to get credit for you because you're in your house.
But you know what? During COVID, because I thought the same thing for a while.
Maybe people. Listen, every other sport took a hit too this past year.
Every sport took a hit.
But that was, a lot of people felt there was a variety of reasons for that.
Right.
I'm not sure if maybe the NFL is right there too. Maybe a lot of people got turned off to professional sports for one reason or another.
Yeah.
But the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I wonder.
Wow.
Like, the Super Bowl had fans in the stands, because I remember back in May and June when you were imagining what sports would be like without fans, there was this thought of it wouldn't be as good on TV without fans in the stands. There was that thought.
Right.
And look, most NBA games and NHL games have no fans in the stands, but they pump in fake crowd noise. Baseball had 0 fans in the stands until the NLCS and the World Series.
And baseball, of all the sports, suffers the most based on how that looks.
Right. So I've always wondered, or was wondering over the last few months, what kind of impact that would have. So is that a possibility?
I don't know. I'd like to think it's as simple as saying it's COVID-related. But who knows? Maybe the American public doesn't like Tony Romo.
No, you can put it on Tony Romo.
Maybe Jim Nantz. Maybe CBS. Maybe the pregame show. I don't know what it was. But if I know anything about the way TV works, You're going to be seeing a lot of Jason Alexander commercials on CBS properties over the next 6 months.
As long as they're funny, man.
Because they probably have to make good on an audience that did not get delivered. I don't know.
But they still, you know what the thing is, though, with football? More so than any other sport. Like when basketball or hockey or baseball loses an audience, the NFL is still such a king, even with a declining audience.
Yes.
Like, is there another event this upcoming year that will even come close to 92 million people?
No, 91 million is still going to be by far the most viewed television event.
So,
yes, you're right about that.
Even in any of the State of the Unions where every network takes it, even that won't come close.
Combined.
Correct. No award show will come close. There's no event in the American psyche that will even come close to the Super Bowl.
It's the old American Idol thing. American Idol used to win all the ratings with like 25 million viewers.
Right.
And then they still won, but they only had 17 million.
Right.
And people are like, what's going on with American Idol?
Right.
The NFL.
Wait, so you think football's declining?
Well, it clearly declined in popularity, yes.
Right, but don't you think that it goes in ebbs and flows as well?
No.
Like right now, I think one of the issues also is that the pandemic has reminded us there are bigger issues than sports.
But we're home because of the pandemic.
Listen, I'm not the one who tuned out.
So what are we doing? Are we sitting at home going, oh my God, I might get COVID. I'm not watching the Super Bowl?
No, but if you weren't as invested in the season as much as you used to, maybe that does contribute to you not watching.
And I recognize there are people that are dealing with very serious issues, COVID related, that would otherwise might be watching the game. But that's a huge drop. Now, and at the end of the day, I also don't care. I watched it. You watched it. But I was interested to see, would the NFL suffer the way the other sports suffered in a significant decline in viewership and rating? And the answer is yes, they did.
Every sport declined in ratings except for the WNBA. They actually had a big percentage increase.
Because they didn't have an audience anyway.
Well, but that's not the point, though. I mean, like, baseball has a much smaller audience than the NFL. They had a decline, too. So look, if we're doing it based on size of audience, then the NFL is still king by a country mile.
Yes.
By a lot.
But they still lost 9, and I'm not counting the stream in this. I know you want to count the stream. I only say that because the stream only started 4 years ago for the Super Bowl.
But there are people consuming the game in a different way.
So if you want to add the stream, it's 96 million. Still with the rating, the lowest rated Super Bowl since Super Bowl III.
But you got to put some stock in the fact it was a blowout. A little bit.
I do not.
Just a tiny bit.
I do not.
You're putting no stock in the fact it was a blowout?
Because there have been other blowouts between Super Bowl III and Sunday.
I'm talking about the last decade. In the last decade, we have had, other than the Seattle-Denver blowout at MetLife Stadium, and I think there was intrigue because it was MetLife Stadium.
Because of the stadium, right?
Totally think. And remember, there was a blizzard like 6 hours later.
And that game was a blowout quick, too.
Horrible game. Yeah. No one's denying that, but I do think there was intrigue by the cold weather Super Bowl. We have had nothing but close Super Bowls for like 15 years. It's true. It's weird. We've been lucky. We were unlucky on Sunday because the game sucked.
Yeah, well, listen, if it was a 1-point game, I guess more people would have tuned in late because then people would have been word of mouth.
Bingo.
Hey, you got to go check out the game kind of thing.
If it's a close game, what's the rating? If it was a close game, came down to the final possession, what number are we talking about today?
I mean, it probably would have come close to 100 mil.
There you go.
But it didn't.
No, I agree.
And by the way, the network it's on has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it.
Nobody watches the game or doesn't watch the Super Bowl because Troy Aikman or Tony Romo is doing the game.
No.
Or the pregame's on CBS versus Fox. They all do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
No one is sitting down going, well, let me think here for a minute. Do I want to watch the Super Bowl tonight? What network is it on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what accent that was. But no one is doing that.
No, I know.
Wait a minute. That Jim Nance once called a golf event, and I didn't like the way he called that birdie. So I'm not watching. I can tell you for sure that does not happen.
No, of course not.
Now, there is something else happening, and I want to preface what I'm going to say to you. I would request that you handle this news as maturely and adult-like.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think I'm not maturely and adult-like?
My father said to me today, why is he always yelling?
Oh, me?
He said, I listen to Maggie and Moose. They never yell. Evan's always yelling at you.
What am I yelling about?
I don't know.
Maybe
I said
it's
he's very excited.
Maybe it's because James Harden got traded. I needed to know who was in the trade.
Yeah, he don't listen every day either.
Oh, okay.
But he said the other two before you, the guy and the girl,
right?
That's how we put it.
Sure.
They never yell at each other. Mm-hmm. They're always just talking.
So it's my fault that I yell?
When I put you and Eric on, I go, it's Evan, Dad. He goes, my bad. When I put you and Evan on, he always seems to be yelling at you. And I go, no, he's very excited. There's a lot of things that take place that make him very excited. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Fat, 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 for one, okay?
Trevor Bauer deciding to troll Met fans.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
I just ask, and I preface prior to the telling that I'd like you to handle this. Well, I want you to be honest, too.
I'm always going to be honest.
But I want you to be mature about it.
I will do my best to be mature. I can't make any promises.
This is very important to this conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's a conversation that people like you, I think, I could be dead wrong on this. I'm just taking a guess.
Go ahead.
I think it's going to be an issue to you.
It's going to be an issue to me.
Yes.
What sport is it related to?
Baseball. I think it's going to be an issue because you're an old school at heart baseball guy.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm ready.
You can handle this responsibly,
listen,
maturely, and adult-like.
I'm always adult-like, Craig. Always. Dribble,
sure?
dribble, dribble was very adult-like. I was just passionate.
Okay. Here's what it is. Are you ready? I can't believe, by the way,
what?
That they actually are being honest about this, okay? Major League Baseball has, I guess, somehow acknowledged that there's going to be a new baseball used in Major League Baseball this season. Same size. The ball itself is going to be different on the inside.
Yeah.
And I guess with the stitching in some capacity.
Right.
They are deadening the ball.
Right.
Now, what does that mean? Does that acknowledge that there was a live ball era? Of course it does. For some reason, some folks in Major League Baseball think the home run has gotten out of control. Maybe even changed the sport against their liking.
Right.
So they announced late yesterday, early this morning, that they're going to use a deadened ball, which will knock a foot or two off the distance the ball can travel for balls hit 375 feet or more. Deadening the baseball. Evan Roberts.
I'm very curious about a few things. Why did you think in your brain, which I'm fascinated
Everyone,
by.
hold back. Here comes the explosion. Evan's going to lose his crap. Here we go.
Why did you think
I'm going to duck
that this would cause me anger or to explode at you? Why?
Don't do it, Evan. I'm just a messenger.
Listen, Craig, I love it. I absolutely love it.
You love it?
I love it, yeah.
You love the doctoring of the baseball?
I do. I absolutely do.
Wow.
Let me tell you
Purity,
something.
peace out.
No. That's not true. I'm not going to let you mislead the people that way.
Let's change the sport because...
No.
What?
No. Baseball has gone through many changes in its history.
Yes,
I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but there was a dead ball era. There was an era in which they juiced the ball. There was an era in which they lowered the mound after a dominating pitching season of 1968. They added the DH in the American League, and the ball has been juiced yet again. I, for one, as a diehard baseball fan, a game I love, I don't want to see a million home runs. I don't. I think the game, in a way, and it's still my favorite game ever created, I think the game had become a joke over the last few years. There are too many times in which I see a guy basically stick his bat out and opposite field 395 feet home run.
Sure.
I don't want that anymore.
Okay.
So I think the best decision, and baseball makes a lot of bad decisions, and they've made a few over the last 24 hours, which we may get into. But the deadening of the baseball is, first of all, it's incredibly significant. This story will be the biggest story in baseball the first week of April.
Because it's going to change.
Guaranteed.
You're not going to have anyone hit 40 home runs.
It's going to change the game.
ERAs are going to come down.
Yep.
Pitchers are going to love it. David Price is already out there saying, wait a minute, you told me a year ago balls weren't juiced. Now you're telling me you're bringing them back. It changes the landscape of the sport.
It changes the game.
I'm not saying it changes it for the better or the worse.
Changes for the good. Oh, I'll tell you.
I'm not sure about that.
Why?
Because I like scoring.
Yeah, but wait, hold on. Hold on a
I
second.
like my team
I'm
down
gonna
two men on.
Correct.
My light-hitting shortstop has a chance to give me the lead.
I understand
I like that.
That's not going anywhere. Okay, we are not entering the dead ball era. We are not going back to 1968. If we do, I'd be dead wrong. What we're doing is we're looking at the last few years and saying this became absurd. And we need to bring it back to reality. The reality is you still may get your 8th place hitter or 9th place hitter hitting 10 to 15 home runs. But the reality is home runs as a totality will come down, and that's a good thing. That's a great thing. I love it. You expected me to be upset.
I thought you were going to go the other way.
No.
Because it's changing the tools that are being used in the sport.
No, but you're
we don't
bringing
make the
it back.
basketball lighter or heavier
It's different.
or bigger
It's different.
or smaller.
It's different.
Why do we change the ball?
Because they have in the past. This isn't new.
Therefore, it's okay to you.
Well, I would like to bring the game back to where it isn't absurd with the amount of home runs we see. That's a good thing. And I think that is great because the big-time slugger is still going to hit their home runs.
Not 40. Goodbye.
Not necessarily true.
No one's hitting 40 home runs with a dead baseball.
Really?
Yep. I can tell you that right now.
So you were telling
there will
me
not be a 40 home run hitter this year if the ball stays deadened.
The major league lead in home runs in 2021 will be what?
38.
So you're close, but you're not quite going
Not
to 40.
going over 40.
I think there will be a 40.
Okay, well, 40 will be the push for you, okay?
That'll be the push.
Yes. In any event, listen, they're making changes to the sport. The Super Bowl, nobody wanted to watch it, and we got a lot of stuff in between, okay? I'm shocked. I thought for sure I had you.
I love it.
I was setting you up to go crazy.
So you wanted me to yell.
I thought that I was setting you up.
After telling me, don't
Yeah,
yell,
I
you yell
know.
too much, now you wanted it?
I thought for sure Evan Roberts was going to go bonkers, that baseball was acknowledging that the baseball was quote-unquote live
Craig.
or juiced or the stitches were raised
look,
or whatever the case may be.
I don't love the fact that it was juiced. I knew it was juiced. It's obvious, but I like going in the right direction. If you want a good scream out of me, all you've got to do is say, runner on second in extra innings.
That's a whole separate thing.
But no, I'm not saying bring it up. I'm just saying if there's a moment throughout the show where you're like, I really want to hear Evan yell at me, just say, I love extra innings with a runner starting on second. I'll take your head off. Yeah.
I don't want you to get too upset.
Well, it gets me.
Now you're getting very upset. Now you're getting very upset. Now you're getting very upset. By the way, let me see. Pick your favorite year of baseball.
1968. For the reasons I just gave.
1968 is your favorite year of baseball.
The year of the pitcher. Oh, like that I witnessed? My favorite year of baseball.
No. How could 1968 be your favorite year of baseball?
The year of the pitcher. I love great pitching. Denny McClain wins 30. Bob Gibson's got a historically low ERA. It was great.
Less than 2,000 home runs were hit?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
That makes you happy.
Were you asking me my favorite year that I witnessed?
Oh, clearly you didn't witness 1968. So you read a couple books about 1968 and determined that's the best year of Major League Baseball.
No, you asked me a question.
Yes.
Did you preface it by saying, what you should have said is, what's your Mount Rushmore of years that you witnessed as a baseball fan? I'll answer it.
Well, we got lots cooking today. Here's Tony in Brooklyn. Tony did not watch the Super Bowl on Sunday. Tony, what were you doing?
My dear friends, thank you first of all for taking a phone call.
Sure.
And I appreciate what you do, talking sports and easing people's minds that are going through this pandemic.
Yes.
I'm a clergyman, so I was personally ministering to people who lost someone, lost someone to COVID. So for me, as much as I'm a sports fan, as much as I love sports, it had to take a back seat for me.
Well, listen, you had responsibilities to a family that, had one of the worst case things possibly happen. So, of course, you were distracted by that and had to give them your time. That's what you do for a living. So we certainly respect that, of course.
And I respect what you do because you give people a lot of hope and you give people a lot of joy to know that we're going to come through this pandemic. And sports is a vehicle in which people can get energized and realize that normalcy is coming.
Yeah, I think
normalcy is coming.
It's around the corner. We appreciate what you do, Tony, and I can only imagine the amount of homes you've had to visit over the last 12 months, and thank you for doing what you do. That, of course, makes sense.
Yeah.
And I suppose when I thought of talking about this, there's a part of me that said, you know full well one of the first calls you're going to get is from someone who unfortunately may have lost a relative or a clergy member like that or a frontline worker. So let's agree that we've got that all covered with that call. That issue has now been blanket covered.
Gotcha.
With all due respect, because I don't think you want to come on the radio. I don't think the audience necessarily wants to be put in that spot where we're like, all right, how many more people are going through that? We kind of want to live our lives sometimes, pleasantly unaware of other things going on.
Well, that's what sports is. Sports is the vehicle, as he said, to distract you from the reality.
Distraction.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, there are 9 million people who chose not to be distracted by the biggest sporting event of the year.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people, Evan.
Are they watching the Puppy Bowl?
No.
It got 2 million people watching.
Which fascinates me.
So think about that. You're looking for the 8 million people that didn't watch. We just found 2 of them.
That's not true.
What?
Because how many people watched the Puppy Bowl last year?
I don't know.
So it's not just a brand new 2 million people.
Well, how many watched it last year?
Well, I thought you would do a little research.
To know what the Puppy Bowl ratings were in 2019
What were the Puppy Bowl
or
ratings
2020?
over the last couple of years?
I'm going to go with less than 2 million.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think
they gained an audience? I got the answer.
Go.
1.9 million viewers in 2020. So it was only up by a little bit.
So it's the same thing. So there you go.
Yeah, so that doesn't answer it.
That tells you a lot about those people.
That they're watching it either way.
And I never like to use the term those people. But when talking about people that sit at home and watch puppies in a box, I must use that term. What's wrong with you? There's something got to be fundamentally wrong that you will sit at home and watch a dozen, 6 or 7 puppies in a box for 3 hours.
Is it really 3 hours long?
I think it matches the Super Bowl,
By the way,
doesn't it?
it's up 14% from last year, so we can't minimize it too much.
Yeah, it did an extra 100,000 people.
Yeah, that's significant.
Nah, for them, but not for the Super Bowl.
Well, but how much percentage is the Super Bowl down?
Like
8%.
Do you invite people over for that? Hey, Billy and Pam, are you guys coming over this year for the Puppy Bowl? Well, I really hope that golden retriever plays with that ball again. Can't wait to see his brother jump on top of the other 9 dogs in the litter. Hey, Billy, remember last year we sat at home and we watched random dogs that don't belong to us run around in a box? Oh, yeah. That was so much better than watching the Super Bowl.
You know what I saw this weekend?
Those are people that watch the Puppy Bowl over the Super Bowl, sadly, are like shut-ins with dead cats in their freezer who haven't left the house in a while because they also could be on an episode of Hoarders. Hey, Max, what are you doing tonight? Well, I'm going to watch the Super Bowl with my friends. Want to come? No. Tonight's a very special night for me and my family. What are you doing? We're going to sit at home. We're going to eat kibbles and bits. And we're going to watch 9 random puppies run aimlessly at each other in a box. How long are you going to do that for? All night. All right. Good luck with that.
You know a lot about this.
For Cocoa Puffs.
Have you watched it before?
No, but Boomer used to be like one of the hosts of it.
Oh, okay.
With, I think, Beth Ostrovsky or something.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, this is Boomer Esiason for the Puppy Bowl. Yeah. Well, Boomer loves dogs, as do I.
I love dogs, too. I'm
As
watching
do
the
you.
Puppy Bowl.
Yeah.
I watched 2 dogs make love on Josh Richards' TikTok over the weekend.
Is it, well,
What?
okay.
No, 2.
That's a strange thing to say.
I was watching the TikTok video, and there were 2 puppies that, yeah.
We'll have to ask him about that on Friday.
We
Josh was doing doggy porn videos.
No. He wasn't doing it. Just it was in the background.
By the way, I bet you more people watch that than watch the Puppy Bowl.
I was gonna say
In a very special Josh Richard TikTok, watch 2 dogs hump like dogs. That's better than Puppy Bowl.
But the great part is that video lasted about 12 seconds,
Right.
as opposed to 3 hours of this.
Yeah, I don't get the mindset of someone, I'm going to sit at home by myself and I might eat some bacon strips. Not bacon strips, bacon strips. and I don't even own a dog. I'm just going to watch dogs be dogs instead of the Super Bowl. Really? That's what you're going to do? Ah, yikes. I can see you being like that one day.
No.
When you're like 90 years old.
Why would you, wait a second. How would you get me to become that?
Well,
How?
don't you have cats and dogs at home?
I only have dogs. I used to have a cat.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe not.
Oh, that changes everything?
Yeah, maybe
because
not.
my cat passed away 8 years ago?
Do
That's a game changer.
do they do the kiddie bowl still or no?
They have a kiddie bowl, too? They got a puppy bowl and a kiddie bowl?
Didn't the kiddie bowl start it? And if I'm not mistaken, didn't our main man, John Sterling, host it?
Oh, did he really?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, there was a kitten bowl.
Yeah, I think
and
John Sterling was the host of it.
Yeah, it got to Kitten Bowl 8.
By the way, I may have been wrong. I think Boomer might have been the analyst on Kiddie Bowl.
Oh, he didn't do Puppy Bowl? He did
I don't think
Kitten
he
Bowl?
did. I think he might have done Kiddie Bowl. Hi. Are you tired of watching dogs run around in a box during the Super Bowl? Well, we've got something new for you. Do the same thing with cats.
Which one's better? Which one would you rather
They're
watch?
both stupid.
If you had to pick one,
Yeah.
which one are you watching?
I'd rather watch dogs. I don't like cats.
Why?
Because they're disgusting animals.
Cats are disgusting animals.
Yeah,
they
they-
actually clean up after themselves.
No. They go to the bathroom inside your house, and you allow that.
No, you're-
Why people have cats is beside me.
Oh, cats
They're
are wonderful.
terrible companions.
They're wonderful.
They're untrainable.
You train them to go to the bathroom like you just described.
And they dookie in the house.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'd rather have a wild animal dookie outside of my house and look at him from the car going, oh, look at that cute animal going to the bathroom outside my house.
but that
That's why
animal-
they invented Great Adventure.
But that animal outside your house isn't going to sit on your lap while you're watching a TV show and give you comfort.
Cats are untrainable, non-domesticated wild animals.
Completely wrong.
Oh, it's like, go to Great Adventure. Look at the giraffe. Oh, nice giraffe. You want the
How
giraffe
could
in your
you
house?
compare a giraffe to a beautiful kitten? How could you do that?
Wild.
Not wild at all. You're missing out. I bet you've never even had a cat.
Of course I haven't had a cat.
Well, so how would you know?
Because I have friends that like cats.
Oh, here we go. I've got friends who have cats. That's how I
have
know.
friends with cats, and every time I leave their house, I go, yuck.
Clueless.
That cat just dookied in the guy's house.
Yeah.
And he's proud of it.
Well, yeah, because he's
Yeah.
trained.
Okay.
If you brought a giraffe into your house, where's the giraffe going to the bathroom?
In the house.
Exactly.
Just like the cat.
No. The
Wild
giraffe
animals.
is going to go on your couch. The cat's going to go into their own bathroom.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can train your cat. This is true.
No, you can't.
You can train your cat to use an actual bathroom toilet.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Stop
Yes,
it.
I looked
What
into
is this,
it.
Meet the Fockers?
I swear to you, it can happen. What
Yeah.
you've got to do is you've got to put the litter on top of the toilet.
Okay.
And then you slowly take it away.
Yeah.
And they're going to recognize that this is where they're supposed to go to
Those
the
are
bathroom.
for people that don't want children. That's all. And think their cats are people. You know what I taught Fight? What's a good name for a cat?
Missy.
You know what I told Missy to do last Wednesday? We were alone by ourselves. I was out of peanut butter. And I said to myself, why don't I train Missy to go poo-poo on the pawpaw? Morons. Anyway, don't send letters now, please.
Well, you've just encouraged
Please,
it.
no letters.
You brought it upon
If
yourself.
you're a cat person, be a cat person. I'm not saying you shouldn't have cats. Love your cats the way we love our dogs. All good. Cats are just not for me personally. Much like the Super Bowl was not for many people personally either. Let's all just agree to get along on that. I don't like cats. You don't like the Super Bowl. We both like peanut butter. We're all good now?
Cats too.
Let me tell you something.
What?
I lived alone in Buffalo, my friend.
jeez, where's
and
this
you have a
going?
choice.
Yeah.
You know what the choice is? Big girls or pets? Some people make a decision that you might find to be very uncomfortable. I was not one of them. But we all go through the decision-making process, Evan. There is a rescue 2 blocks away. Or there's that big girl that bartends on Wednesdays. She can get me Heineken 2-for-1s. Of course, I don't have to talk to the rescue cat. All right, the big girl wins, but it's close.